Ahoy, Filthy Pirates. This is Danimal, and welcome to another episode of Talking Filthy. Filthy Pirate Coffee is all about mustering our crew on the quarterdeck to chat over some amazing low-acid coffee. Just a warning, we do occasionally have episodes that contain explicit language, sensitive topics, or controversial discussions. We are pirates, so yeah, there's that. You can find out more about us on our website at www.filthypirate.coffee. So here we go. Let's pull into port, set the anchor, and burn this city to the ground. Join us to stay caffeinated and give no quarters to your morning. All right, good evening. Welcome to Talking Filthy. This is Dan with Filthy Pirate Coffee. Tonight our guest is Tim, and we're going to cover some pretty cool stuff. Tim, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. How was your day?
It's good. As per usual, long. I haven't slept. I have too many kids.
You got all them damn kids up in here. So, Tim, give us a little background, a little bio to you before we kick this thing off so the viewers and listeners can understand who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I wasn't born out here. Kind of moved or liberated myself from California. College kid that ended up becoming a cop. So far, I've done some cool stuff out with the police department and up to and including being on the SWAT team and being with the SWAT snipers for a little bit. About 7 years on the SWAT team, 5 years as a sniper.
Awesome. So you got a little bit experience when it comes to the topics we're about to talk about and a little bit of knowledge there. I'd probably say quite a bit of knowledge in that arena. I know because I probably taught you some of it. So that's just me being arrogant. But so, Tim, SWAT sniper, got some shooting skills. You're also a firearms instructor, I understand.
Yeah, I'm firearms instructor as well as a rifle instructor.
Rifle instructor and avid hunter.
I was. So I'm what is colloquially now referred to as an adult onset hunter. I didn't grow up doing it, but I certainly picked it up once I moved out to Arizona. This is a cool place, and there's a lot of really good opportunities. So I've muddled through it. Been having some luck.
Well, cool. So you just recently had an amazing hunt that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. We're going to cover some sports shooting with Tim, some large game hunting, if you will, some ballistics, some optics, his take on how he does coffee every day. We'll cover that. We also watched a video today of the most awesome pirate looting shit that I've ever seen. It's just funny. So we're going to cover that and, get into a little bit of the weeds of a topic that we could probably talk about for hours. But we're just going to cover a few things as it relates to some sports shooting. All right, let's kick it off. Favorite weapon to hunt with?
So, and again, I came to this sort of late in life. There was a point where I did archery. I shot a bow a lot. And honestly, once I learned how to use a rifle correctly, that became my jam. I have an older SR-90 in 308.
308, so bolt action. That's kind of your home base for you? Is that what you really like?
I'm comfortable either way, but frankly, the accuracy of most gas guns or semi-automatic AR-15, AR-10 platforms aren't kind of what I'm used to, and I'm spoiled. I was taught to shoot on a Ferrari, so I pretty much just want to shoot on Ferraris.
Fair enough. Favorite optic?
Right now, I have a Mark V on the row bar, and I have a ride-on, I think it's one of their X7s, 3-18. So the hunt we're going to be talking about, I use that ride-on, and it really, really worked well. So those are my two go-tos, but they're still mill-based reticle, mill-based turrets.
Awesome. So you pick up on, for our listeners, ride-on, and that's key because we are partners with ride-on in a lot of ways. They're hometown local business that makes awesome equipment. So optics, very, very, important to sports shooting, whether it's hunting or, competitive shooting. You can't just buy the expensive gun. You got to put the expensive glass on it along with some talent.
Oh, absolutely.
Fair to say?
Yeah, I would say it's almost, you can make a so-so gun better with really high-end glass. And the converse is even more true. You can make a really good gun shit if you put shit glass on it.
You can polish a dog turd, if you will.
Much.
Best area to hunt in the USA for you that you've experienced?
So I've really only ever hunted here in Arizona, so I'm not going to try to be an expert on something I'm not. I know Arizona fairly well, and just pulling up the game and fish and the opportunities we have, and I'm sure someone listening is going to poo-poo this, but again, somebody that didn't grow up doing it, it's pretty rad that I can hunt a deer every year. I can get an elk tag every 3 years. Black bears over the counter here. There's a lot of fun stuff if you're game to put in some work.
Yeah, put in some work like scouting, prepping, finding the right area, doing your research.
Getting out there. I think one of the biggest things that I've been successful with is being willing to put a pack on my back and just start walking. To not live on the road or take an easier route, is to just be willing to make mistakes, maybe burn some calories, but get out there where other people won't go.
Sweet. So what other types of shooting do you do when you're not hunting and you're not doing SWAT shooting? Do you do any competitive shooting? Do you do any practice on your own? Or
So I'm no longer really on the SWAT team, so I don't really even get to do that. But as an instructor, I shoot as often as I can, at least once or twice a week. And frankly, most of that is all handgun stuff. I recently transitioned to a red dot sight on my handgun that I carry every day personally. And that's really just been eating up most of my shooting time, is one, confirming that system works to the standards I expect it to, and then two, making sure I am as comfortable as possible. Because frankly, the best way to explain this is I'm one of those unicorn shooters that instructors talk about. Never really shot guns growing up, and I just shut up and was taught by the instructors how to do it the best way possible. So to go from iron sights to a red dot sight, although it's not the hardest thing ever, it certainly rewired my brain onto the best way to do that. So that's most of my shooting lately.
Okay, so at this point, you're fully on duty with a red dot on your pistol. Red dot iron sight.
I'm not on
for the average regular. Okay, so let's say you were carrying it on duty. At one time you were with SWAT, right?
So I carry it every day when I'm off duty, and as of late, that's all I've been shooting. But if the question is, would I prefer a red dot or iron sights? I'll take a red dot all day long. It is straight up cheating for somebody that learned to shoot a handgun with iron sights and then transition to a red dot. It is night and day.
So I think that's key. Learn to shoot with iron sights. Learn the fundamentals. It's more challenging. It's going to stimulate your brain. It's going to build good fundamentals. My opinion. The world according to Danimal. Learn how to do the basic shit first. Then speed yourself up into the technology, into all the different things that this modern day era has brought. But learn the basics first.
It's certainly going to be an interesting time for all of us moving forward with technology and guns. I mean, we've been talking about sort of the long-range shooting as well. What I dig on is thinking about some of the historic shooters like Carlos Hathcock. And you read about his stuff and how that dude just shot thousands upon thousands of rounds out of the same gun, out of the same bullets, and he just knew everything intuitively. Well, frankly, homie ain't got time for that. I don't have the money for that. So technology in that regards has really helped. You can use applied ballistics and use some of these ballistic calculators to actually really kind of compress that training time needed. The fundamentals you have to learn. But the time behind the gun of wind reading and things like that, you can kind of fudge that a little bit with investment in good technology. And then always you confirm it when you get out to the range and shore it up.
Right on. So there is a science and an art to shooting, whether it's small handgun or long rifle precision stuff. Real quick, we're going to close out the sports shooting with 9mm, 40 cal, 45. What's your choice? Why? And what areas? Which one would you use for what portion of your life?
In my mind, I think maybe I fell trapped to this. And again, we hit so deep in the weeds and so many opinions, but I think that the 9mm platform has made huge advancements over the last 5-10 years. Historically, you look at people that complain about the 9mm, they refer to LAPD. I think it was that 90s era LA that was using a very light ball ammo. They were hollow point, but they weren't performing very well. In the last few years, Hornady, Federal, everyone's got on board with really bullet construction. And that 9mm, to me, there's nothing better. Now, it was kind of a loaded question, no pun intended, saying under what application. I'm very much a one system for everything type of guy. And when we get into the hunt, I can touch on this a little bit more and the bullet I used on that. But if I was mobbing around somewhere with grizzly bears, I would make sure I was carrying something like Buffalo Bore makes a really righteous, solid 9mm round that absolutely will smoke check a big old grizzly bear. So this idea of I need a 10mm for this part of the world and a 9mm for this part of the world, you can do it the same job with the same gun, just be smart about which specific bullet you carry.
Fair enough. Switching gears. Let's cover the porch pirate real quick. So I showed Tim this video earlier. I'm going to pull it up real quick on Facebook, and it's this. It's absolutely hilarious. This guy.
It's epic bullshit. The front half of it, I think all of us, and we are in such an Amazon era of we buy things online and we expect everyone to bring it to us, and then expect nobody to steal our shit. And you watch this and you're like, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do this. Oh, you did it.
So there is a real term called porch pirates for people that, because it is. Amazon's so big. In fact, I don't know, I probably place orders every day for business related stuff or whatever. And so in this snow covered, it looks like a fairly, modern, recent video, but this snow covered area, this white car pulls up, passenger gets out, and I'm going to kind of play the clip. He walks up this, driveway, I don't know, about 50 yards of it, maybe.
He takes his time. I think he's even starts like...
He almost looks like he lives there, like it's, someone coming home. And the dude's all dressed in like a white, jacket and so forth. And he walks up, clear as day. The Ring doorbell system catches him walking away with a package.
That dude.
This dude comes out. He's rocking a 223 old school iron sight. Put my shit back on this porch.
Oh, it's glorious.
What's cool is fingers straighten along the frame.
Never points a gun at him. And again, we can argue back and forth about, like, legally, at least within our state, what he did. He never really pointed it at him.
Nope, kept it down at his side. He let him know that he meant business.
It was an exclamation point of a bolt racking.
Yeah.
And then that dude was like, my apologies, sir. Your belongings.
I'm at the wrong house, my dear friend. I picked up the wrong shit.
That dude's like, not today, ISIS.
I love a couple things about that video. What I love about it, obviously his firearms, if you're going to own a gun, he looked like he had some knowledge. He didn't point it at him just willy-nilly until he was probably presented with a threat. In his mind, yeah, the guy is a threat, but it's a minimal threat, not enough for me to point my gun. I'm just speculating at this point based on the video. Because anybody that keeps their fingers straight along the frame, they've had some training somewhere. And he did a really good job of that, kept it down at his side, kept the muzzle, in a safe area so that he didn't flag himself or flag other people. But he let the guy know, this is a stand your ground home, and you don't fucking belong here taking my shit. And,
it's a beautiful moment.
In today's world, God bless that guy for standing, his ground. It's dangerous, but he didn't go out and provoke anybody. We can dive into the weeds of the politics of should that be legal or not. And I say, hell yes, it is. If that's my house I'm paying on, and you come to take my stuff or, cause bodily harm, I think you can defend it. So that's pretty awesome. And he's just funny as fuck. I mean, put my shit on my fucking porch. What makes it
better is you watch that dude walking up to the porch, and like you said, he has this feeling of, this is my house, I own this. He's super relaxed and chill. As soon as that rifle comes out and you hear the rack, his demeanor changes. The homeowner, in arguably a very professional demeanor and manner, was like, nope. And then just begins to talk shit to him. Like, as you put my box down, feel bad about yourself too.
What's funny in the video too is towards the end, whoever's driving the car obviously recognizes some shit's going down on the porch. Right. I'm leaving my homie here. Drives away. So as dude brings the package back, sets it down, he takes off running away. And the homeowner stays on the porch, but the car, his buddy's gone. So dude's running in the snow by himself, thinking that was a bad decision. He probably went down the street and did the shit again anyway, but, at least not that dude's house.
Right.
So pretty funny. Porch pirates, beware. There are other pirates bigger and badder than you. Let's cover the Bison Hunt. So you recently got probably what some hunters would probably deem as once in a lifetime type of event. And let me preface this. If you're one of these vegan, anti-hunting, don't kill animals stuff, there's killing animals And then there's harvesting food. And I say that with a lot of love and a lot of passion going back as an outdoors person. If done correctly, harvesting, food and harvesting game is very good for the environment. There's scientific proof of that. So I'm just going to put that little disclaimer out there for any of the haters that are all about that. If done properly, and I know the people that I hunt with or know people that hunt, they're very proud of the environment and they take good care. A lot of times they come out with more trash than they took in, generally.
Unfortunately, many times have walked out with a lot more balloons and stuff from the mountains than certainly dead critters on my back. So
absolutely. So how'd you get the hunt? Tell us about that. How did it kick off?
So, and a very good friend of mine, Ryan, said it best, and I really want to kind of give him props. He was gracious enough to join me without a tag just to be part of it. But I'm not one to use this language often, but it was blessed, really and truly. So to your point, I believe in the idea of conservation. I love being outdoors. That's kind of why I dig this state. We are a public land state. But I buy Arizona Big Game Super Raffle. If you're not familiar, it's sort of just raffle tickets for game species in the state of Arizona. All the proceeds go directly back to conservation. So even the idea if it was an auction tag, that money goes right back to the state and conservation focus. But all I did was buy, I think they call it the Super 22, but it's 2 raffle tags in every species and then 2 in their big, like I think that year it was a New Mexico elk hunt. So there were emails and stuff saying, hey, on this date, we're doing the raffle. Make sure if you see a number you don't recognize, make sure you answer it. Dude, I am walking around Fry's, buying, probably the kids something stupid. And my phone rings. And I'm like, oh, I don't know that number. I answer it. And sure as shit, the dude's like, hey, is this, blah, blah, blah. It is. And he goes, I'm so-and-so from the Super Raffle. And I was like, no shit. And I think in my head,
So it wasn't for your car warranty.
It wasn't. Right. Or to ask me about my political views. Neither of those.
Or if you're voting Democrat or whatever,
you fucking assholes, dude. So I'm like, yeah, that's me. And in my head, I'm like, cool, we got a turkey tag, which would have been rad either way.
Yeah, right.
But then the dude goes, hey, so you were drawn for bison. And I think if the tape exists online, you can find it. I audibly, lose my ability to speak and go, what? But I palpably began to cry in the middle of Friday. I cannot believe this is happening. Because those are the people that really know me. I've never been the type of dude that can say, I'm lucky. I've always been I'm not lucky, but I grind and I develop and I build. So this was the universe just going, here, bro.
Karma, man. Put out good and good comes back.
That's how I got the tag. And I bring that up for those that are familiar. Right now, I think in the state of Arizona, to pull a bison tag, you need 31 points. So that's 31 years potentially of trying to get that raffle or that tag and not being drawn.
Wow.
In addition to the Big Game Super Raffle, that tag allows you to hunt for 365 days of the year, anywhere where it's legal to take any animal you want. So I got that in August. So in October, I went on the hunt. The only tags that existed were cows. So everyone was up there trying to shoot cows, seeing these big old bulls going, nobody can do anything. So I was the only guy, the only swinging dick.
So you had literally the whole world to yourself out there.
Pretty much.
So what part of the state did you go, and what did you end up harvesting?
Yeah, so
size
I went up
and so forth.
it's I can't remember the unit number, but it's the Kaibab Plateau, so north of the Grand Canyon. And there's an outfitter, a guide up there. Awesome dude. He's really the only game in town up there, and he and his family do a phenomenal job. His name's Russ Jacoby. If you ever pull this tag, anyone listening, don't waste your time. Call Russ, period. He will absolutely put you in the right direction. But I reached out, let him know, hey, I'm the dude. I'm going to be up there these dates. And he said, cool, we'll take care of it. We got you. So he... put it this way, it's all money well spent. So
good,
we go
good.
up there. I sat down 2 days on a blind. The first day we didn't really see, we saw 2 small groups of bison come down to this watering hole, and they were primarily a couple young bulls, cows, and calves. Then the second day, we're sitting in this blind. It's super funny, man. Kara, passes the fuck out. He's sleeping, snoring. I keep elbowing him, shut up, bro. And 11-ish, he looks over and he's like, you want a Sammy? So I'm mid-biting my sandwich when these 2 pretty good sized bulls are coming down the mountain towards us. And I'm like, don't fucking move, don't breathe. Don't even think about moving. Shut up. And as soon as they hit the water and start drinking, they just bust out. Like, it was as if they winded us. I thought we fucked up. And from the other side, the bull I ended up shooting is full on screaming, running down the mountain. Like, if you've ever seen a horse stop it, like drop its ass and stop, it comes to a sliding stop, and you could tell he's like, I am all that is bison. Leave my watering hole. And I'm sitting there watching this National Geographic scene happen in front of me.
So another porch pirate not having that shit on his porch.
Not today.
Right? Yeah.
Not today. So, and I'm just enamored. I'm watching through my binos, and it's like he had a radio collar from, it was U.S. Forest Service tracking where they're going. And I am just watching. I'm a pure spectator. And my buddy goes, get your fucking gun. You need to shoot that bull. Get it up now. And I was like, I do need to shoot this bull. And then I ended up, it went well. If you're not familiar, they are big tanks of animals. And I was warned by the guides up there, they will eat bullets and still not go down. I ended up hitting him 4 times, 3 of which were pretty much all in a 3-inch circle in the same lung. And he still stood there and took upwards of 20 minutes to finally go down.
Wow. What do you end up dressing out in weight, do you know?
So at the butcher, it was 505.
Wow. What did you end up preparing for meat at all of that? What was your kind of breakdown for what you chose?
And that's to kind of go back when you were talking about why we hunt. And like I said, I don't do this for any other reason. I love being outside, and I like to cook. So the first critter I ever killed was a few years ago. It was a bull elk. I did it by myself. Didn't talk for like 3 or 4 days because I was alone in the mountain. And I brought that home and butchered it all myself. So with the bison, then out of the elk, what I learned is my family could care less about steaks or snack sticks. They want roasts. And they want me to make big-ass hunks of meat, seasoned and cooked, so they can eat it. So when I took it to the butcher, you could tell, like, he's used to, like, here's the list of snack sticks, here's the jerky, what do you want? I was like, I want you to butcher this like a cow, and I want roasts. So he ended up doing a fair amount of ground, mostly roasts. We got some of the prime cuts cut into steaks, and then me being the kind of food dork person I am, I kept the liver, the tongue, the heart. I had the long bones cut down for the bone marrow so I can cook that out and serve it as kind of appetizer-y things, and then the shanks cut into ossobuco. So I did probably less traditional butchery with it. And so far it's been pretty rad.
That sounds pretty cool on how that's done. What did you use for rifle and optics on this?
So that gun, it was a Winchester Model 70. It's an older gun that is a retired police sniper rifle. And
nice.
I wish I knew more about it, but there's a name on the barrel that apparently in the 70s and 80s was a local gunsmith legend. When I bought it from the gun store out east, they knew exactly who he was, and they were super like, oh, do you know anything about it? I was like, no, does it go bang good? That's what I want. So, and
does bullet come out other end?
Yeah, and like I said, that gun, sorry, I'm trying to make sure I'm giving the credit. It was, again, the Ride-On, I think, yeah, it's the X7 Conquer, the 3-18.
So Ride-On was up there bringing down the big bull with you.
It certainly worked very, very well. I had no complaints about that. And then still, I only have 308s right now. I have plans of making some other calibers, but 308's what I learned. It's what I know. So it's what I do.
Stick with what you know and you do well. Next hunt, if you have your way, when and where, and what animal?
So the actual next hunt, I've got, javelina in a couple weeks. This year, my focus is black bear. I've come spring, over-the-counter black bear. I'm really going to spend a lot of time burning boot leather to try to make that happen. If you gave me a golden ticket again, which I can't really joke because they got it once, but my long-term goal, I think starting next year, is moose. And I'm going to start really focusing. I think Idaho is probably my best bets, but we'll see. Other than that, nothing. It's funny. Like I said about Arizona, you can hunt all year. I'm pretty much, my year is like, okay, didn't get drawn for spring turkey. What am I going to do? Next after that, I'm going to be deer. The big thing is we'll see if we get drawn for elk. Those should be finding out in a week or two. So that may be this fall.
Sweet. Switching gears. Your coffee prep routine. What do you do on a normal basis? How do you do it? What do you use?
So there's two ways I make coffee. It all just depends on how much I'm going to drink. I have a traditional kind of drip roast at home, but it's one of the companies that has a hot water already ready to go, so I can make a pot of coffee pretty quick. That's sort of my go-to because, frankly, I drink probably 2 pots of coffee a day easily myself. While I'm at work, or if I'm out hunting, I have an AeroPress. And I really have been digging on the AeroPress a lot. So
AeroPress, French press, my jams. Awesome. And so this episode, since he's a Guatemalan fan, Siren is his jam. And so Tim's going to make some Siren tomorrow. And that's what the episode is going to be kind of sponsored by, is Siren.
Dig it.
All right. We're going to start wrapping this up. With our guests, we do a rapid fire kind of questions. First thing that comes to your head. Now, Tim doesn't know this is coming because I did not put this in the outline of questions I gave him. So, first thing comes to your head. Favorite workout song?
Oh, Pantera, Walk.
I actually fucking guessed that. In my head, I go, this is what he's going to say, believe it or not. Only because we've probably done that 1,000 times. All right, Apocalypse Goes Down. Weapons number 1, 2, and 3. What is your primary, secondary, and then your tertiary backup?
It's going to be super lame, but it's just going to be an AR on my chest, my handgun on my hip, and the 308 on my back.
All right, so all ballistic.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And I'm one of the spoiled ones. I have a suppressor that works on both rifles, so you won't even hear it coming.
Favorite local food that's non-franchise style. Favorite place to throw down some food.
My go-to, I generally go every year for my birthday, is the Diablo Burger.
There you go, Diablo Burger. What does adult experienced Tim say to 18-year-old Tim? One piece of advice that you could give yourself right now at 18.
I would have told myself that all the effort I tried to join the Marine Corps was going to be wasted, and just start going to college first.
All right. Wrapping this up, we're going to give you a pirate fact and a coffee fact like we do on all of our episodes. Pirate fact. Pirates wore earrings to ward off seasickness. It wasn't for cosmetics.
I have no idea how that's even a thing.
So there you have it for that. Coffee fact. For those that didn't know, the reason coffee's so popular in the U.S. is because we threw all of Britain's tea in the fucking river in the 1700s, called the Boston Tea Party. That helped America throw that shit in the... Now, I got some tea here, so we still love that. So a little bit of Britain there. But anyway, Boston Tea Party helped popularize coffee in America because we threw that goddamn British stuff in the water.
Oppressive tea. Be gone.
So, wrapping this up, Tim... Bison Hunt, awesome, ballistics guy, knows his shit about guns. Glad to have you on the show. Dear friend of mine for a long time. Thank you.
Appreciate it. We'll let you know how the rest of the year goes. Maybe we'll do another one about a big old dead bear.
Yeah, and we're going to bring you back and talk some more ballistics because I could talk this stuff with you all day on the show.
Rad.
So, Tim, thank you. Give no quarters to your morning. Peace. Well, Filthy Pirates, we hope you all enjoyed the show today. Hit that like and subscribe button to follow us on our YouTube channel. Check us out at www.filthypirate.coffee or come see us to sample our amazing coffee at our store. Stay caffeinated and give no quarters to your morning.